Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it. But what do I know?
There is a grimace, although she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly. Sorry, I missed it.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what, 20 years?
17, actually.
17?
But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense. I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my... crush.
I do remember that now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress or the pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind. It feels ridiculous remembering all of that years later, talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls. As if it's some gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Although, looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say something good at that time, enough for her to take it to heart. But all that did not matter in the moment as I mull over that she just said in my head. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There is no point to ponder over that, however, as I hush descends upon the once lively crowd. The music of strings... The music of strings and the shadow slows to a grinding halt as the door from the foyer opens. And just like that, everything goes hard. The last of the late comers should have arrived moments ago. And anyone else this late would simply be too embarrassed to show their face. This can only be one person, or rather one man. Look! There is only one man who is audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
And his drink.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Unlike I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to its presence, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. And I never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny when he channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes lit up as he speaks, how they listen enraptured, even if all he's doing is a simple greeting. A little wave of his hands here, a little smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he is not to be a businessman, he'll do well as an entertainer. I love this side of him, especially when he looks at me and he beckons me over to humbly share his place. Not a single second is wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side and make my way to Luke's.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen. If you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses, as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Yes! That was good. There is a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approaches left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It is because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she is dangerously close, with fury in her eyes and she is already spitting venom. Joanne restrains her, taking care not to unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. But that does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go lest an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, as I see an empty glass of wine in her hand. Is that Rochelle? I think it's Rochelle, the officer's wife. How much has she imbibed in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
I knew it! Rochelle.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here!
I'm talking to this scumbag over here.
You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol on the breath. I'm not ticked off about it. I'm not ticked off about this little display of hers, at least not yet. But I am absolutely pissed by the fact that she'd endanger her own baby by drinking. There is a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for her tantrum to subside. I keep a patient, if tight smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle!
Oh shit! He's pissed!
Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
You.
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir. What is even going on?
His hair is amazing, by the way. I am just about to ask the exact same
I don't know, but Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Excuse me, what is this nonsense you're going on about?
What?
Crazy talk! That's all it is! Just completely and utterly mad!
Are they having an affair?
Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
I am pregnant with your little bastard. You promised me you'll take responsibility.
What? What? What's going on?
God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours.
What?
Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
What the hell just happened? It's now that Johan's returned with security along with a concerned-looking Officer Lee. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. What the hell just happened? Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man. Not that I believe Rochelle. Luke will never go as far as to sleep with another woman, right?
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress and the alcohol.
Jesus, I'm still stunned.
Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk? Of course there's nothing but ramblings of a drunk. She's just jealous. Jealous of this wonderful marriage, this happily ever after that I have with my prince.
Take that troll up out of here immediately!
Achievement unlocked, catfight? Troll up? That troll up? Is like the new... Is that the new troll expression?
And see to it that she isn't allowed here or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
To be banned from anything with the right name on it is basically social suicide. We practically own half of Luxbourne, and there is not a single establishment of repute that is not under a patronage of one way or another. This is mercy. I can do much worse to her. At least this way she can just move out of the city and never ever return. I have strayed my hand in the face of a grievous fault. A bold-faced lies when she deserves so much more. I can take away her business, have her factory shut down. It is too easy to ruin her life until she's just nothing. Jesus! And it is also tempting. I can only see red. The tension is thick in the air and the silence that embraced the room is nearly deafening. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, yet at the same time I can still hear them whispering. But as long as they hold their tongues and don't interfere, none of those matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shine in its eye. It almost seems that it's proud of what I have done, and that spurs me on more than anything.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
Jesus.
You heard her! Strike of the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night!
It takes a bit for the crowd to stir again in the face of all that, but like most problems of the elite, it is brushed under the rug and forgotten in favor of merriment. Merriment? Yeah. He offers his hand to me with a small smirk and a bow.
Well,
Ow.
that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
A bow. Well,
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
Milady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
and like, did they forget like that Rochelle might have Luke's baby? Like nothing happened? No one is going to get in between me and my darling husband. Not Rochelle or any other rich, snooty scrubber. Not some common whore or an ambitious maid. No one is going to get near him in that matter, not while I'm around. And if I have anything to say about it, no one is going to get near him at all. October 29. The day after proved to be a difficult task. My darling prince is a man of many connections, a man of the people. He is always talking to one person or another, and I am always left alone, unable to stay at his side at all times. It is frustrating, but I have to be understanding.